One of the most feared defensive players of the 1970s, Rick Maxey was a four-year starter for the Trojans at linebacker and was named one of the team's permanent captains his senior year. A native of Ocoee, Florida, Maxey led the Trojans in tackles as a sophomore and a senior, en route to earning NAIA All-District honors his sophomore campaign. A member of the 1974 through 77 football teams, Maxey helped lead Troy to a 1976 Gulf South Conference championship as the Trojans finished the year 8-1-1 overall and 7-1 in conference play. In addition to leading Troy in tackles as a sophomore, he also recorded 15 sacks that season, a number that still ranks as the fifth most in school history. Maxey's career numbers still hold the test of time as he ranks ninth all-time in Troy history with 333 total tackles, sixth in solo tackles, and is tied for sixth with 26 career sacks. Maxey continued a life in football as he coached Pee Wee football for 15 years, in addition to serving on the Troy Alumni Association Board of Directors and as the Director of Education Policy for the State University System of Florida.
As a high school football player, I was an All-American, and so I got offers from schools mostly in the eastern United States and in the South. And Troy was one of the schools that was looking at me. And when I thought about it, somebody who had never been away from home, someone who didn't know what the bigger world was, Troy turned out to be a perfect fit. Because when I came to visit, people really were friendly, and they made me feel like I was at home, and I felt that would be the perfect place to continue my career both as an athlete and a student, because I was really interested in getting a college degree. I was the first in my family to attend college, and so it's really important to me that I got a college education and to my family. The coaches that really had an impact on me, one was Philip Creel. He was the defensive coordinator when I came as a freshman, and to say that he taught me football is probably an understatement. I had some natural athletic abilities, and in high school I could get by on natural athletic ability, and he taught me what the game was about. So I learned how to play the game of football strategically, and that combined with the teammates that I had gave me an opportunity to have some success here. And so I'm really grateful for him and what he did. Another person that really impacted me at Troy was an English teacher, Fred Davis. For whatever reason, he took an interest in my well-being, and not just as a student, but as a person. And because of him, I learned a lot about what life meant and what was out there in a bigger world. And that set the stage actually for the rest of my career. There are a lot of people that I want to thank. Starting with first grade. My first grade teacher, Miss Finkley. I'll never forget her. She made learning exciting. I never wanted to miss school. In addition to that, my high school football coach, Jerry Daughtry. My senior year, we only had 16 players, but you couldn't tell it from his attitude. And his attitude was, you work with what you have and you do all you can, no matter what the circumstances. And as a result of that, it helped me continue in my professional life to not worry so much about the circumstances, but to focus on what we can do about what's presented to us. In addition, of course, my mom and father pushed me hard to get an education. And my mom only had an 8th grade education, my dad 6th grade, but they understood the value of it and talked to me all the time about getting a college degree. And to be quite honest, I'm not sure they knew how valuable that would be. They just knew that education was a good thing. And so they wanted me to get as much as I could get. And the way they lived gave me an example of how to raise a family, how a husband treats a wife and a wife treats a husband. And those are the things I try to do now. The person I want to thank most right now, though, is my wife, Jackie. We've been married for almost 31 years. She is the love of my life, and we have just a wonderful marriage. I want to take this opportunity to let her know how much she means to me. And we have two beautiful daughters, Taylor and Whitney, and both of them are outstanding people. In addition to that, there were some players that I was with. They made football easy. people like Charles Pickett and Willie McCray and Perry Griggs. Literally, offenses were so worried about them that I literally just kind of ran and knocked people over. And some of the guys whose names you don't know, but they were really important to the team. People like Barney Jones, Lee Enlow. If it wasn't for them and the roles that they played, we couldn't have been as good as we were. I really miss those guys, and they are what made Troy fun, and they are the reason why it's such an honor to be acknowledged as a Hall of Famer.